All right, here we are at beautiful Teewah Beach on our third shakedown trip in the beautiful 2024 Stealth 12. Check it out.
Pocket rocket.
Look at the view. All right, I'm going to start at the back of the van as I always do. So we've got the van set up. We've got the bump out here ready to go. One thing of note here, and this is another thing that's so synonymous with these 2024 models. Beautiful, beautiful, big back window. Nice and tinted, so through the day no one can see Movo running around in her knickers. I've obviously dropped the tyres. I might do a quick pack up tomorrow and catch that on video. As we have with all of our Jawa vans, we've also got an Anderson plug here, which is an input running to the DC-DC that I'll show you on the inside of the van. Now I'm going to give you a full rundown of this 270 awning in a second, so just hold your horses. All right, at the back we've got a instantaneous Truma AquaGo hot water system. We've got a little small boot here. It's big enough to fit a block and chop kit in here. So for all of that random stuff that you want to travel with, it's pretty handy, but considering the small platform. Another beautiful big blacked out window here. Our kick-ass outdoor shower tent and our shower here. We've got two independently filled 100 litre freshwater tanks. We've got our grey water tank here as well. Potentially could convert that to another 80 litre freshwater tank if you wanted to. Some places need for you to collect your grey water. Anyway, I'll leave that one up to you. That's our mains water connection. We've got our mains power connection here. Our toilet, which isn't that exciting. Let's have a look at this side. So, got a beautiful big tunnel boot that runs all the length of the van here. So that's great for storing chairs, fishing rods, all of your camping gear. You don't want to load it up too much with heavy stuff because it's sitting towards the front of the van, but there's a whole heap of stuff that you can fit in here. Now let's look at this generator slide. You'll notice that it's got a strut on it, which is excellent and actually pulls out here. Now, room in here for a generator. As you've seen on the Stealth 16 a little bit earlier, it's a cutlery drawer, but it's awesome for storing tools if you haven't got space in the back of your car. So close that up. We've got these drawers here. I'm just keeping hoses and sullage hoses, little bits and pieces in here. But I guess when you look at this, a decision needs to be made. Am I going to take a generator? Or potentially, am I going to take my Ziggy or my Weber Q or something like that? To fit a Weber in here, you probably need to remove these drawers, which honestly isn't that much hard work. You need a screwdriver and a bit of time, maybe a beer, and that's going to give you enough space for a Weber. A Ziggy, because the lid goes around like that, will actually fit in this space, strap it down, and away you go. So, really small footprint, but room for either a generator or your barbecue. Let's go around to the drawbar, maybe. All right, so as we see on all of our Jawas, Cruisemaster DO35 hitch, beautiful piece of kit this. You never want to use it, but it's there in case. We've got an Arc Extreme 750 jockey wheel. Always do the job. Oh, really quickly, when you're setting up on the beach like we are here at Teewah, we learnt really quickly early on in our camping days that these things sink over a couple of days. So what you notice we're doing now is we use our block and chop kit. We build a bit of we've got a base on it and also a top piece so that this sits there really firmly, sort of dispersing that downward pressure of the jockey wheel so it's not going to sink into the sand. You could use a Max Trax or a recovery board. There's things that you can get at Anaconda or BCF these days as well. It's sort of like a boat, just disperses the weight. We've also got a beautifully positioned drawbar tap. That works really well. It's also got a stone guard, bit of protection on it. All right, let's check out these toolboxes. All right, toolboxes. Number one, you'll have to do that latch for me maybe. Double G diesel or water jerry can holder with space at the side. What we've got here is room for two big gas bottles. We're only coming up for a few days here, so we're only running the one gas bottle to conserve weight. And in here, we've got our fuel tank or our diesel tank for our e-dispatcher heater. and a whole heap of space. We're running our floor mat, screw-in pegs, another DO35 hitch, a little axe, a whole heap of stuff. Maybe I'll use that on me when she's cranking at me later. All right, let's get around to the business side of the van. All right, with all these 2024 Jawa hybrids, absolutely beautiful outdoor living space. That's one of the key differentiators between the earlier models of the Stealth and the 2024. So first of all, that's just the other side of the tunnel boot. Let's have a look at this beautiful use of space. So I've got a big, long pull-out drawer that fits a whole heap of stuff in there. You could use it for pots and pans. We've got a whole heap of assorted stuff in here. Let's have a look in here. So as usual, our 96 litre Evercool Series 2 down under fridge, freezer, fridge, fridge, and you can shut our zones down. Beautiful fridge, heaps of space in there. Novo's chocolates in there as usual. All right, we've got these Jawa pantries. They're ever so slightly smaller than some of the bigger vans. Still room for a crab boiler in here, still room for some paper towel, another saucepan, and all of our bugs and pests and whole heaps of other stuff. You can use that however you want. The beautiful thing is that it's all there. Got a really good door. I love the doors on these 2024 models. I haven't talked about it in any of our other videos. Nice and rounded at the top. Now this has a different awning on it to the standard, but just not going to rip anything because it's nice and rounded if you forget when you're pulling the awning out and the door is open. Got a little table here, pretty straightforward, but it's great to have. As you can see, we're storing some stuff on there. Another big window. I'll just show you that. It's not that wide, but it's quite deep, so lets lots of air in here. Now, a huge upgrade over previous Stealth 12 models. Check this out. For a 12-foot van, have a go at that galley pantry. Just have a look in there maybe. Put your stuff in there. Another thing you'll notice about these models is there's so many cool little lights everywhere. So that one sits there. It goes to amber, it goes to both. And then you've also got a drying rack. Keep forgetting about the drying rack. Got a handy little light here, which when you're cooking at night time, gives you all the light that you need here over your 4-burner hob. Now, given the shorter profile, we haven't got the separate sink and separate cooktops that pull out. It pulls all the way out, more traditional hybrid setup. I like it on this van because we've got a shorter platform to look at. Got beautiful drawers here, all of our cutlery, all of our cleaning up here, and just a few other things. We've got a 15 amp out, AC out or GPO there. We've got some really handy charging points, and you'll notice USB-C and USB quick charge 3.0. We've got a 12 volt outlet just here. Got another one in there. Got an outdoor aerial socket for our TV, and we've got a bracket if we wanted to bring our TV, which maybe I'll show you this inside, out to watch some footy or something like that. So 12 foot, absolutely huge platform to live under. And another thing that enables this platform is this beautiful awning. So let's go to the front and really check it out. So as you can see, it's a 12-foot frame. Open up the back and you get another 2.5 foot with the bed. But got this beautiful Jawa 270 awning. So let's talk about this awning. 2 built-in poles. The first one comes out on this bow that comes out over the front here. You'll also notice that we've got a ratcheting rope which is running down to the drawbar down there. I'll show you those ratcheting ropes in a second. Check this out maybe. Six meters of coverage. So a couple of things about that 6 meters. It is awesome. It covers over the top here. It runs out over the drawbar there, and it concertinas out to give you such a bigger platform than this little van that we're in at the moment. You're going to need to think about this when you're booking sites, because a lot of the time you have to tell particularly caravan parks how long your van is. So one of the things you need to think about is if you've got this awning, you need to make sure you're booking a longer site. It doesn't stick out that much further than the van, probably about a foot. We need to think about that when we're booking it and when you're positioning your van before you set the thing up as well. One leg there as well. Now the other thing about these legs is I think with a 10mm, you can just pull these out and move them to anywhere on the awning. So I'm only running 2, which is what's included with the 270 awning. You can purchase other legs if you want to run multiple legs. You'll also notice another ratcheting rope that I'm just running down to the rim there. And she's nice and secure. I've got quite a bit of wind today. I don't know whether you can hear it through the camera, but quite a bit of wind here, and it's doing a perfect job. The other thing that you'll notice is we're just running a couple of these ratcheting ropes down to some sand pegs on the ground here. Now we're positioned really well here with the wind hitting the backside of the van, but having those on just give you a little bit more security. Now, I talked about these ratcheting ropes. They're really, really cool. It's such a good invention. You just pull on these ropes. Once you click them into position, I'm just going to click it onto here. You pull the rope tight like that, which gives you the tension that you need without over tensioning either to bend your brackets to get a really nice neat setup. Now let's have a look at the evolution, I guess, of the brackets, because this has changed a bit from the last run of super peg awnings that we've seen, branded Jawa obviously. Have a look at these brackets maybe. Really, really heavy duty. And we've also got a really, really cool run of a few little lights in here. So I'm going to turn the lights on and I'm going to change the mode. We've got white, we've got sort of white amber, and we've got full amber, depending on whether we've got bugs around in the area. You can also actually turn the intensity of the lights up and down, which is a bit hard to see with the naked eye when the day is on. But you've got this beautiful little remote here. We're running here, and we've got another light over here. I'll just turn that one on. There you go. So the last thing I want to talk about out here is what makes these vans differentiated from many others of the hybrids on the market, because of the time, the effort and the expense that they've gone to make sure these tow really, really safely. So we've got Japanese bearings sitting in here, we've got off-road brake magnets, and Jawa also have the equipment to do laser wheel alignments before these leave the factory. What we've also got running in behind here, and we'll throw some footage of it going through the beach access earlier, is level shocks and springs. So the highest of quality ingredients, I guess, to make sure that we're towing as safely as possible in all terrains around the country. So let's go into the van now and meet Mavie, where she's going to give you a run through of the little Stealth 12. Let's get into it.
Welcome to the internal of the Stealth 12, the pocket rocket. So it comes with a queen size bed. Here's some footage of it earlier, me making it.
Go little Mavie. King size doona and sheets.
Not matching, sorry.
Ready for the house inspection. Because you need all of those guys. Oh, good shot.
No, not really.
Well, that's better. Oh, you're going to crease the sheets. Good fluffing. Oh, there's a crease up there. And your nice little...
Any throw rug, doesn't matter what it
You've
is.
got 3 throw rugs.
Yeah.
Yes, you need 3 throw rugs.
We can do that, or you can go nice natural look.
Oh.
Just grab a little bit of it. Ta-da!
Under 4 minutes. Good job, mate.
All of your Stealth 12 come with a TV, 2 really well positioned Ranger fans, air conditioning, DRS system, gotta have one of those, and your diesel heater.
Control unit right there and outlet right there.
And for such a small little pocket rocket van, it has plenty of storage. I'll show you around. So in here we've got storage for your clothes, and then more storage for your clothes, which I put our winter clothes in there.
Do you reckon enough to travel indefinitely, maybe?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I can't see why not. And then you've also got, I shove our shoes in there. My shoes. Very expensive shoes. Don't fall over. Now under the sink we have, I just store our linen, the bin, which I pop out when we arrive at our destination, so I need to do that. Our toilet chemicals, our laundry gear, that's pretty much it. And then up here under the tunnel boot, there is, I'll turn the light on, there is so much space in here. Excuse me, Ant. Cabinet. There's so much space up in here for a lot more gear.
So just to be clear, this doesn't access the outside tunnel boot. This is in behind the, or sorry, up above the outside tunnel boot.
And we've also got a little ensuite, toilet shower combined. What's different with this 2024 model is the sexy black tapware. And I love the little nook in here for all your toiletries, and you zip it up when you don't want to get it all wet when you're having a shower. So I really like that. I love the full length mirror. It's so good. You are missing your head, but at least you can see what you're wearing, right? Anyway,
Okay.
Little secret, pop top roofs. I got this from Target. It's a little mirror.
It's got a light on it.
It does have a little, it's flat, but it has a little light, USB light, and I just sit it up here to do my makeup. Hot tip.
Same here.
Now, over here you've also got a handy little sink for when you would need to wash your hands, or if you want to do your washing up here because it's horrible outside. Now here are your controls for your instantaneous hot water system, your light for your shower, the Jawa sign, and also, oh, and this is new too, the wireless charging for your phone in the models, these models, 2024 models. That wasn't in the older version. Nice little handy seat here, which obviously goes under the wheel arch. You've got a little bit of space in there for maybe a carton.
2.
1.
I reckon I could fit 2.
1.
All right, so let's check the power system in this tiny little pocket rocket. It's got a lot of grunt sitting under this bed though. So let's get in here. First of all, 300 amp hour Enerdrive B-TEC lithium battery, all encased to meet the new, and vented to the outside of the van to meet the new lithium battery regulations. I'll quickly move over here maybe. I'll get you to come in on this side. What you've also got is a DC-DC, and you've also got a MPPT. Now, they're both 40 amps. The beauty of this is I'll show you on the walk around the drawbar input for a soft solar panel, which is wired to the DC-DC. 500 watts of rooftop solar, which is wired to that MPPT. And in the testing that we've done both at Kenilworth and Gordon Country, I've seen over 25 amps in the middle of the day coming in via that MPPT. So that is a huge amount of power that's coming off a beautiful little power system on the roof. Even though the roof is quite small, there's a lot of solar up there. The other thing that we've got here is the Enerdrive Combo 2000 watt and 80 amp hour AC charger. So this little inverter, it's way smaller than they used to be, cranks out 2000 watts. I would say that it'd be enough to run a decent sized coffee machine and those sorts of things. We run our mocha pot, so we haven't got a big coffee machine. 2000 watt inverter, perfect for our Starlink. We don't need a 12 volt conversion because we've got 300 amp hours of power, 2000 watts sitting here, and it's just a beautifully set up system, even though we're in a small van, to be able to basically run indefinitely off grid. So well done, thumbs up again to the awesome power systems in these Jawas, even in the little vans. Just to round out the electrical fit out, guys, so I've been through all the battery and that sort of thing. Really well positioned charging ports, GPOs and that sort of thing in here. So when you're running off 240 as well, the power pass in the inverter will make all these GPOs live, or when you've got the inverter on when you're on 12 volt as well. So GPO here, and some charging ports and a 12 volt there. We've got a GPO over here, we maybe showed you a little bit earlier. We've also got another GPO over here, and some more charging ports and 12 volts as well. And we've got some charging ports, like seriously, there's some on the other side as well. So when you're at a caravan show, guys, you don't think about those things. You're looking at specs and numbers and the look and the feel of the van. These are the little things about Jawas that differentiate them from the other companies as well. So I love this 2024 Stealth. Forgot to mention the beautiful color of this one as well. And there's a range of different colors that you can get. Yeah. So just a massive thumbs up to Jawa. This is a smaller van. It's probably not the one that we would choose to do our longer term travel, but there's a payoff, because this is so much smaller and more nimble than those big full height, full length vans. It's a fair bit cheaper as well. So there's just things that you need to consider. I reckon this is perfect for the active couple that do shorter trips more often. It's great to store when you're at home. You need less space to store this van because it's so much smaller when it's packed down. And I also think it's a great van for those that have got teenage kids that live that active lifestyle, want to go to the beach, want to get, you know, camping on the beach and that sort of thing, into state forests and national parks and those sorts of things. Get the kids out in swags. You've got that beautiful big power system to keep everybody happy and run Starlink and all of those sorts of things. So massive thumbs up for the 2024 Stealth, along with this Jawa 270 awning. Beautiful combination. Probably couldn't get better for a small footprint.
And, sorry, did you mention the water tank? How big's the water tank? Oh,
2 100-litre water tanks. I think I might have when I was on the outside. 2 100-litre water tanks, 80-litre grey water tank as well. Another thing about 2024, which you may have seen in our other videos, is they're independently filled and there's 2 pumps. So each tank runs its own pump. In the very small chance that you have a pump failure, at least you've still got access to that other water tank. Thumbs up everywhere. Well done. G'day guys, so let's talk about weights of this particular van, because there's always a lot of conversation, particularly if you're looking at any of the forums on Facebook or blogs and those sorts of things, around all of the different weights that you need to consider when you're towing a van. Now, we're really lucky because in our local area, we've actually got a weighbridge at our tip, which is probably only about 2 kilometres from where we live, where we can actually take the van and the car over, providing you don't want to print out. You can actually do it for free. So all I need to do is hook the van up and take it over the weighbridge. When I take the van over the weighbridge, that's going to give us, with the car, it's going to give us our gross combined mass. So what I'm going to do after that is take the car back over the weighbridge without the van, and that will tell me exactly the weight that the car's sitting up at, fully loaded, to do our trip. Remembering that we've got to add the Mavy in here, and that's about it. You got to consider when you working out your GVM, your gross vehicle mass, is it's not just the weight of the car, but it's also the weight of the ball weight that's pushing down on the back of the car. So I measured that ball weight before I left this morning, and it was 235 kilos, which I was really happy with. Now the van is fully packed. The only thing I haven't got in the van considering that we're leaving from home and doing a shorter trip this time, the only thing I don't have from our full scale setup is our generator, which is going to add about 25 kilos and probably 5 kilos of fuel. So that is not part of our setup that we've got for this trip that's coming up. But what we do have, given it's the middle of winter, is a lot more winter clothes than we were carrying. So I don't think we're going to have 25 kilos of winter clothes, but there is a bit of weight that we're not going to be carrying due to the fact that we're not carrying that generator. But other than that, all of our chocks, all of our equipment, all of our gear that we need to live on the road is in the van at the moment. So realistically, guys, I'm going to have a look at these weights. I'm going to talk about different types of cars, different GVMs and GCMs and ball weights for that matter, and sort of see where the Stealth 12 sits in terms of consideration, depending on what type of tow vehicle that you've got. All right, let's go and get it done. All right, so we're just heading up to the local weighbridge, which is at our local dump. It's awesome that they've got the flexibility to allow us to do this. So I'm just going to cruise in and I'm going to get the combined mass, or the GCM, of the car and the van fully packed. So let's go and have a look. I'll whack a photo in just to show you where it comes to. All right, so we're fully loaded, ready to go, and we're at 5.44 ton. I'll whack that photo in there. Now, the only thing we've got to remember is I need to add the little Mavie weight in here, which is only about 56.6 kilos. She's been 56.6 kilos since we met about 26 years ago. But anyway, God, genetics. So if I add Mavie's weight, we're sitting just under 5.5 ton. Pretty awesome if you ask me. All right, let's get the weight of the car and then we can do all of our calculations. All right, so we're going to get the mass of Barry fully packed with a full 135 litres of fuel on board, and then we'll be able to work out the GVM by adding that 235 kilos ball weight. So let's get into it. Back again. Oh. Cheers, mate. You too. So there you have it. We're at an even 3 ton for the car. So knowing that Barry's got an extensive list of modifications, plus I've got 135 kilos of 135 litres of diesel on board, and we're all packed ready to go with all my spares, tools, and those sorts of things that I carry, plus a fridge full of beer. 3 ton, not too bad. So we're going to add 235. Well, sorry, we're going to add Mavie first, so that's another 56 kilos. And then we're going to add 235 kilos of ball weight to that 3 ton, which is going to take us through to about, what is it, 3.28. So let's say 3.28 ton. Now, I've got a GVM upgrade on Barry. Your standard GVM on a BT50 is 3100. So already I would be overweight. But you've got to remember that the car's already at 3 ton with everything that's in it. So that's unusually high for this type of vehicle, unless you've got a heavily modified tourer like we do. So you're looking at being under GVM with my GVM upgrade, because I'm allowed to have, or I'm engineered to 3380. But then we also need to have a look at the van. So I'm just pulling back into the rugby club here, which is where I left the van momentarily, and I'll re-hitch that up. So let's think about the maths. So we've got, when I add Mavie in, 5.5 ton. The car sitting at 3 ton with Mavie in here is 3.05 or 3.06 ton, depending on the rounding on the scales. So we take the 2 away. I've got Mavie's weight in the 5.5 though. So let's just go 5.44 and then 3 ton when we run it over the scales. So the van fully packed with 1 tank full of water is sitting at 2.44 ton. So when you think about that, the tear weight on the Stealth 12, 2150. We're sitting at 2.44. So a tank of water, and we've got all of our gear ready to go, and we're way under that ATM of 2650. Now, something to consider, if you've got a car that only has a 2500 or a 2.5 ton tow rating, even though the ATM or the maximum allowed ATM of this van is 2650 per the engineering and the stamp on the drawbar, you could potentially consider it, providing you don't overpack it. And as I said, we're packed to travel for pretty much as long as we wanted to, with our winter clothes, a week's worth of food, a week's worth of drinks and that sort of thing, and we're sitting at 2.44 ton. Now, if I filled that second tank up, we're going to add another 100 kilos of water to the load, and all of a sudden we're over that 2.5 ton, but we're well under that 2.65 ATM. So really well balanced. The other thing that I really like about the guys at Jawa is they're honest about their tear weights. And what I mean by that, I've seen lots of vans with stamps on them that are well and truly heavier than what their actual tear weight is stamped on their drawbar. Whereas, thinking about all of the gear that we've got in this van, to be sitting at 2.44 when its dry weight is 2150 is spot on. So yeah, we've got to give the guys at Jawa some credit for being honest about their weights, because I can tell you that I've seen other vans that aren't. So pretty happy with the way that this is all weighing up. 5.5 tons with maybe sitting in the car is well and truly lighter than what we've been towing. A couple of 100 kilos, maybe 300 kilos lighter. So yeah, there's your weights. Now that GCM of ours, 5.5 ton when maybe sitting next to me, that's a little bit higher than I think your 150 model Prados and those sorts of things. But got to remember, Barry's sitting at 3 ton. Not many Prados are sitting at 3 ton when they haven't even got a van and the ball weight sitting on them. So yeah, it is a viable option, providing you don't fully stuff the thing up into that 2.65 ton. If your car is 2.5 ton tow rated, you'd have to be very careful with your packing. I'd recommend you don't travel with too much water, but you can get to your destination and then fill up when you get there. There's many water points documented on Wikicamps, which is generally what we do anyway. We don't travel with water if we can avoid it. So, comprehensive overrun of the weights of the van. Haven't done the individual axles because the tip doesn't have all of that technology available to it, but very, very comfortably below our GCM, below our GVM, and the van is well and truly below its ATM, even though it's well and truly packed and one of the water tanks is full. Thumbs up to the Stealth 12. Plenty of room for plenty of gear.